There was another, I'll borrow your word, legendary writer in Boston media, and
Mm.
that was Bill Simmons.
Oh yes.
He wrote for ESPN Page 2.
Mm.
I attended nearly every home game during Walker's first 6 seasons. There were times when I honestly wondered if the fans wanted him to fail. Is that true? Did you feel that way?
No, I didn't. I didn't feel that way. I think in the beginning, and Boston fans and people, didn't see a big guy shooting threes. I just think that's what it was. It was just different from what they used to seeing. I think that was a little irritating because it wasn't necessarily the traditional style of play back then that obviously we see now. Obviously teams are shooting 60, 73s a game. So it's easy now. But
Right.
back then, I just think because of the 3-point shot, people didn't see that. Um, I think it took people to enjoy me dancing, doing a little dance. No, it took a while. You know what I mean? Because I would dance regardless if we could be up 10, down 10. If I made a good move, a good play, I may dance to celebrate that move or that play. So I think it was just different. People hadn't seen that. So I think that's what kind of threw the fan base off a little bit.
Because you were dancing
Yeah, I used to get. Yeah, it was. Dancing was a problem for some people. Some people didn't like that.
in Boston.
Yeah, it grown that people started loving it in Boston. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Tommy Heisen called it the Walker Wiggler. He the one gave it the name. You know what I mean? And Tommy Heisen, who was commentating majority of my games in Boston, it didn't even bother him, and he's old school as it comes.
That's true.
And it didn't even bother him after a while.
Right.
He started the Walker Wiggle.
I was actually going to ask you about that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
There's one more quote from Simmons that I'd like you to react to.
Uh,
He said, Antoine's best quality was also his worst. He always riled up the wrong teams, challenged the wrong guys, took that one extra three we didn't need. While he was heckled from the stands almost always, he sought out the offending voices and stared them down. The guy was a mess, a maddening, talented mess.
um, that doesn't bother me because I play the game with a lot of emotion. Do I think I'm the biggest trash talker? No. But can I talk trash with the best of them? Yes. That's definitely I definitely can do that. But I think people sometimes I play the game with a lot of emotion, man. With a lot of fire. I love the game. That's how I grew up. I grew up loving the game, all aspects of it. I'm a competitor. I like to win. I like to compete. Um, and that's just what me. I didn't wear my emotions on my sleeve. I came out and I showed my emotions. It wasn't something that I tucked in. I played the game fiery, especially early on in my career where it was me and Paul. We had to deliver night in, night out. We were trying to turn this story franchise around and get it back to respectability. Um, People got to understand. I won 15 games my first year
Right.
to win a national title. I won 15 games and I probably lost 7, 8 in college, maybe 10. I'm not. I know we was maybe I don't know if I got the 10 losses total in 2 years in college.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think where I was coming from. I'm coming from a winner's mentality, and so my thought process was different, and trying to turn things around. But I always played the game with a lot of emotion. That was just me. And if people would have studied me and even go back to college, I was dancing in college.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get dunked and dance in college, and coach would be like, "As long as you can get in that press, like, coach, not, hey, you can dance, but make sure you're in that press."
That's so
You
funny.
know, and to be honest, and I've been around. It's crazy, and about that, I played for coaches that didn't care for it. Don Nelson, when I got traded there in Dallas, he told me he didn't really want me dancing. He asked me not to really do it, and I was, who gonna question Don Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame coach? He wasn't a big fan of it, so I respected that.
Hall of Fame coach
What?
and big weed smoker.
Huh?
Big weed smoker, Don Nelson.
Oh, I don't know. He was a good golfer. I golf with him a
He's
lot.
a good golfer.
Oh yeah, he's a golfer.
Uh huh.
But he was back then.
Right.
He was a good man, but yeah. So I mean, you get the different coaches. A real story, a story real quick is that
Yeah.
I remember Larry Brown was the coach when he's coaching, I think, Charlotte. Maybe it was Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to get back into the NBA. And I remember hearing a story. He didn't personally tell me, but I was working out for the team, trying to get back in the league. I thought I still had another year or two left in my body. And I went down and worked out with them guys in the summer. And the rumblings came back to me that Larry Brown has always kind of like disliked me because of me dancing. You know, we played them in the first round of playoffs. I think the year after they made it to the finals, and I was dancing a lot that series, and they pissed him off. And lo and behold, now I'm coming around trying to make his team.
Right.
So that wasn't the best time that the dancing happened. But yeah, it was brought to my attention, like, you know, you pissed Larry off back in the day with the dancing. He wasn't a big fan of it. So, you know, some people hold grudges. So it was like one of those type of situations too.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't do it no other way.
Absolutely.